Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, go ahead and grab the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could really use that. And if you are a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So just grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. It's Sunday the 21st. I am beyond exhausted. I'm going to hold off on my update. Normally I do my update here. I'm actually going to hold off until the end of the show because it's kind of a lot and I feel bad because I always put it at the front and I don't know that everybody really gives a rat's ass about it. So I'm going to try to remember to put it at the end and see. So, yeah. So I have some haul. Because my D-stash canvases came in and I went to the store to pick up a different canvas. So the first up I have is this lovely Easter bunny. Oh, she's so cute. I'm honestly, my thought is she's either going to end up a pillow or she's going to end up a stand-up. And I'm kind of leaning towards stand-up because, again, I have asshole dogs. And my asshole dogs, excuse my language, I have butt-faced dogs. How about that? Is that better? I have jerk-faced dogs. I don't know. My dogs are jerks. And my dogs eat pillows. So I tend not to leave, like, toss pillows or throw pillows around my house because my dogs are just going to rip them up. So, and I would hate to put all the money and the time into a canvas, put it into a pillow, and then have them rip it up. And they've been on a rampage lately. I don't know if Mercury is in retrograde, Gatorade, in the microwave. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that one for a second. We have this lovely Dalmatian dog. I already have every intention of doing him in velvet. Very, very petite, or petite, very velvet. So that he is very touchable. And then I'm planning on doing his kerchief in probably silk lame. He's gonna be a bougie little dog. I'm gonna have a whole like little village of bougie animals because yeah. Fell in love with this. It was just a couple bucks. I was like, absolutely, it will make a glorious ornament for next year. Not for this year because Christmas is Thursday, you all. How did this happen? I don't know. So we got that one. And then this is actually a Psycho Club app logo. I don't really care. It's a bike wheel. I plan on doing it probably as a big round, but I'm also going to put 100 kilometers underneath because I have done actually 2 century rides, and yeah. Okay. So here's one of the other really big. Can we tell? Do you know what color it's going to be? Can I just say probably red silk lame or red neon rays? Like he's gonna be shiny. He's gonna be all sorts of shiny. And then I'll probably do like black. My thought maybe black very velvet so that the fenders and the tires stand out. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. And Linda's now giving me shit. Okay. So we're just gonna work with Linda because Linda does her thing when she wants to. She does her thing. I don't know. Okay. I did go back to the wool and the floss because they called me and they said we have the canvas that you special ordered in. Okay. Linda. Let me see if I hit. I think that's making it worse. There we go. We're back. Linda's being Linda. Okay. So the wool and the floss is about a 40-minute drive, but it's a needlepoint shop, and they both love. Okay, so this is what we've decided, the kids and I. Bina's been to both shops, and we think that the wool and floss for canvases is the much better bet for both of our styles, right? Much more modern, much more fun, whimsy, right? Um, Sadly, I don't think they have a clearance section, which is kind of sad. Now, the shop closer to us has a clearance rack, so we can get some decent canvases. Nothing, that's where I got the dreidel from. Um, for dirt cheap. Um, but their selection of flosses and different threads and fibers, way better. So anyway, so we drove down to the wool and the floss because they called me that my canvas was in. And while I was there, Bella, or Bean, talked me into just going ahead and getting this one. I fell in love with this when I first saw it there. Oh, he's so gorgeous. I could see doing these in glow in the dark, the little skeletons in glow in the dark. It's going to be all sorts of yummy fibers and just, it's going to be a fantastic addition to my Halloween village. Here's why I went down there. And I started it because, well, why not, right? So those of you who are not from Detroit or not familiar with our area, we have on Lafayette Boulevard in downtown Detroit, and I kid you not when I tell you this is the honest to God's truth. We have an American Coney Island and a Lafayette Coney Island, and they actually share a wall. I kid you not. I believe the story goes that it was two brothers that owned. It was one big place. There was a family fallout, and they then split the building, and that's what's happened, right? And there's this big debate whether which one is better. I can't tell you because I have only been in one of them one time ever in my life. Um, if you're new here and you don't know me really well, you will know that hot dogs are not my favorite food. They never have been. I've never been a big fan of a hot dog. So going to a Coney Island for a hot dog, maybe once every 5, 6 years, if that. I will eat other things at a Coney Island. Excuse me, every day. Like, that's not a problem. I don't like hot dogs. So, anyways, but if you're from Detroit, this is iconic. Iconic. And you know, I before I bought the Spirit of Detroit round that I'm going to turn into a little stand-up. So, when I saw that this was an option that I could stitch for my village, I had to. I absolutely have to. So, and I did pull Kelly from Wool and the Floss. That is her name, really and truly. The Kellys went together. And we pulled some fantastic fibers. She's given me the stitch guide to the way she does windows, which is a T-stitch. So we'll see how that works out. I am going to order a little hot dog button, unless somebody has one they have floating around in their stash that they want to send me. I'm going to get a little hot dog button to put here on the canvas. I'll probably still stitch it underneath, but, or maybe I should just fill it in red and put the button over it. How does that work? I don't know. Because if you don't do that, what happens if these stitches show underneath the hot dog button? That would look weird. So maybe I should just stitch it all red in here and put the hot dog button on there. I don't know. But if you have a teeny tiny hot dog button floating around in your stash that you'd like to share with me, please let me know. Okay. So then there's that. That's all my haul. And that also starts showing you part of my stitching. I just pulled the bag from the wrong end and everything just came out of the bag. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So we've been doing the cross stitch advent calendar, which is a joke at this point. It's just become seriously just an absolute joke. But one of the whips that my daughter and son have pulled a couple times now is the flower block of the month. It's a free sale. It's still available. If you want the information, let me know. I'll pop the link down below. If you guys want it. I fell in love with this, so we're stitching January. January is Carnation. Flower of the month is Carnation. She's so beautiful. This is stitched on 32 count even weave in the color ecru. I know that my piece is big enough for this and something else, but I don't remember. I still have not, it hasn't dawned on me what I had planned to put on the bottom half. Not a clue. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. Then I ran out of the blue, so I couldn't finish my Mary Candy Cane. I keep changing the shape that it's gonna end up being, but I think it's the inner. But I did cut. Now I don't have a choice because I cut my one piece of board for it. Well, I shouldn't say that I cut it because really and truly I used a scrap, and the scrap is only so big, so we had to adjust kind of that. So it will follow this inner line here, which is still plenty big. But I ran out of the blue, so I have to get to Michael's to get the blue. And yeah, again, life is life. And I have been swamped. I went in for my CT scan, so hopefully I'll get the results of that soon. I go in Tuesday morning for the injections in my back, so hopefully that goes well. To admit that I'm scared, absolutely. So this time, rather than injecting at L4, 2, 3, 4, we're going to inject in L2 and 3 and S1. If that actually relieves the hip pain, then we will do the nerve ablation in January for S1, L2, and 3. Otherwise, we'll just do hip injections and do the nerve ablations with L2, 3, and 4. The thought is every time you do cortisone into your hips, you sort of mess with the integrity, not the integrity, like it does something to your hips, right? And my younger brother, 2 years ago now, has already had a hip replacement. I really don't want to have my joints replaced, right? Like, this is just not what I want to do. So, anything that we can do to save that is great. Okay, so, this is my, I've worked on this. This was one of the other pulls. It is my Not a Gingerman Man Club. So funny. It cracks me up that there's a gingerbread man on this strip of pull. So we're stitching him on this. What is this? It's a piece of Monaco. I don't remember the count. My village buildings are all going to be on different fabrics, are all going to be different counts, and quite frankly, I don't care. Some of them are going to be cross stitch, some of them are going to be needlepoint. Do I care? I don't. I don't. I think that adds to the village. So that's where we're at. This is going to be the door to the club. To the club. We got to pull like one of the little aisleway parks there, right? So there you go. The kids also pulled for me to work on Moroccan lanterns. I have not done that. I worked on my super secret stitch project. And Kim knows this is for her. So if Kim wants to look now. If you don't want to look, Kim, and you still want to keep it a surprise, look away and I'll clue you in a second, right? So, ready, Kim? Look away or choose not to. Up to you right now. Okay, so by now Kim should have looked away if she wanted to. So this is where we're at. It is by Soda Stitch. I am electing to do the back stitch as I go as of right now. I did mess up and grab the wrong color. I'm not ripping it out. I'm going to leave it, and I'm just going to change the other four corners, or the other three corners, so that they match. But we're starting here. She's so cute. I had to order the floss because apparently I didn't, and I didn't have it, and I've tried to.
Did anyone ever take out the biscuits?
Yes. I hold, please. Okay. So I ordered it from 123 Stitch. It actually came. The reason you haven't seen it, or the other haul that I ordered with it, because I'm not going to pay $3 and some change for a skein of floss and not order, like, that doesn't make sense, right? So, but it doesn't fit. It's in the office, and we didn't make it to the office in time, so I'll pick it up tomorrow. Okay, so that's all of my stitching. That's all of my haul. Kim, you can look back by now if you haven't already. Okay, so today we moved Lauren into Kat's house, and Kevin helped, and I will say that all of this extra work, and then I was out of pain meds for a couple days. My body has decided to finally rebel, and I am actually having trouble standing, like getting out of a chair and walking, which is another reason that Tuesday is so critical as far as helping me with things. So we moved Lauren in today, which meant that, did a bunch of work yesterday. We took Kay to get her hair cut and ran a bunch of errands. So one of the things Kevin remarked was when he walked in the house, he didn't smell cats. That's huge. Because let me just tell you, like a week ago, you wouldn't have been able, you could smell it from the porch. He's like, yep, obviously still things to get done, right? It's not perfect. I'm like, no. But to see where we picked up Lauren and where I now have her housed, it's a much better situation. So we got there. We dropped off Lauren's stuff to Kat's, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have a comforter for you and stuff like that. And she's like, well, I have this blanket. It's not a big deal. Like, and I go, well, why don't we just run to Walmart and get you some new sheets? She's like, okay, because I don't have sheets. I was like, okay, great. Let's go run and get you whatever you need to, kind of tide you over till whatever, right? Understanding that she left a very toxic environment, has been either couch surfing or living in a motel for the last several months. Everything she owns or was bringing with her or able to bring with her fit in the back of Kevin's Traverse. Everything. So we took her to Walmart because we were still waiting on the mattress to get delivered. So we go to Walmart, and I'm going to say that I am so grateful for the people who have sent me cash. Kim being and her family being a huge one in that, right? Because budgets are tight, and I make no bones about it. I'm not rich by any means, but if you need something and I can, I will. And I just so happen to have a client who finally paid me, and so my budget has some freedom in it right now. And then, what I have left still that I haven't used from Kim's family, knowing that this was coming, allowed us to walk through Walmart. And there were times where she was so overwhelmed because I said, do you need shampoo? And she goes, well, I have a little bit. You know, it's okay. And I go, but do you need it? And she goes, are you sure? Because I could use it. And I said, let's go get you some shampoo. And I looked at her and go, would you like some conditioner? And she's like, she looks at me like that's the most foreign concept. Because nobody's ever asked her, do you want conditioner? We go over to pick out the comforter. And she's like, so which one are you giving me? And I go, what do you mean? I go, pick whichever one you want. And if you don't like them here, we'll get you a blanket to make do until we can take you to, like, Kohl's or Macy's or wherever, right? And she looks at me and she goes, no, 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 no. She goes, I don't know which one you want me to have. And I go, it's not going on my bed. Why would I pick it? I go, you can pick whichever one you want. Whichever one. And she starts going to, like, the cheapest one. I go, is that really the one you want? I go, you can have this one down here. And she goes, honestly? And I go, yes, absolutely honestly. And she's like, well, I don't like that print. And I go, then we're not getting that one, right? I go, but if you want the fluffy blanket versus, like, the thinner quilt top, we'll get the fluffier blanket, right? Do you want a separate blanket to go with the quilted top? Because the quilt top's not real thick that she picked. And she's like, no, I'm okay. I go, okay, let's go get you another set of sheets. And she's like, but there's a set of sheets with the comforter because it's a comforter set. And I said, okay, but you got to have 2 sets of sheets because you got to have one for when that one's in the wash. I don't think she's ever owned 2 pairs of sheets. I don't think that's ever been an option for her. So we go through and I was like, do you need feminine hygiene products? And she goes, well, I have this kind. And I said, okay, but do you use, like, anything else? Because I know some women use both tampons and pads, right? I'm a pad, like, when I had a uterus, I only use always brand pads, right? My daughter is the same way. I don't, but I have other friends who use tampons some days, pads the others. Like, it just depends. And I was like, I want you to have what you need. And she's like, no, I can make do. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to make do. I'm asking you, do you need them? Do you want them? And she's like, okay. So she goes to grab the smallest box. I go, that's all you need? Like, to get you by for even a couple months? And she's like, I'll make it do. I'll make it. It's okay. So she turns around, I put that one back, and I grab the bulk, like 2 of the big boxes of the same brand she uses, right? And then she happens to see, like, this little pair of fuzzy socks that have penguins on them. And I could, let's see. So they're similar to this, but they were, like, because these are for the kids, my kids' William stocking. They were like this, but they had a little penguin on them. And her eyes lit up, and she kept touching them, but then she put them back. And she touched them, and she put them back. And so she walked away, like, she turned the corner, and I grabbed them and I threw them in the cart. And then, what else was it? I mean, it was just like, she goes, can I just get, I go, is there something that you want? We were at Walmart, right? The Supercenter. I was like, is there something that you want that you haven't been able to eat? Like, because of whatever situation that you haven't been able to cook it or whatever, right? Is there something that you would want that we can pick you up here? And she's like, can I get a couple bananas? Bananas, people. Bananas. And I was like, yeah, you absolutely can get like a couple bananas. And it was like, but you could tell she had never or hasn't in a very, very long time had somebody who just goes, throw it in the cart. Throw it in the cart. If that's what you need, throw it in the cart. We got her some new underwear, y'all, and you would have thought it was like I was giving her gold bars. We got her curtains, and she was like, we don't have that. We don't need to do that. And I go, it's your bedroom. Don't you want it to look nice? Like, it's your bedroom. We need to make it yours. And she's like, I'll get some later. It's okay. I'll get some later after like I'm back up to work because she's got her job signed up. But and I go, let's get the curtains. I'm like, throw me a curtain rod. I'm like, do you want these or do you want these? Like, which ones, right? Um, we got back to Cats, and I got her the new pillows that I had gotten everybody because I'd used Kohl's Cash and gotten pillows for everybody. And she had the two she came with, and I said, "Here's two new pillows." And she stood there frozen. She didn't know what to do with them. And she goes, "But I have to." And I go, "You don't want more than two pillows?" Like, look, y'all, I have like 20,000 pillows on my bed, right? I will never turn down a pillow. I love me a plethora of pillows. And she's like, and then Austin has newer pillows, and he's like, "I don't need both of mine." And he looks at her, and I go, "Want three pillows? We have the pillowcases for them. We got extra pillowcases." And she's like, frozen, and she looks at Kevin, and she looks at me. And he goes, "How many pillows do you normally have on your bed?" And she goes, "I only have two." And she goes, "How many pillows do you have on your bed?" And he's like, "Oh, good God, I have like 8 or 9. I was like, "Yeah, we're pillow people." She's never had more than two pillows. And it was funny because when she got in Kevin's car, Kevin's got like the rear camera and heated seats in his back seat. It's one of the things like I don't have in my Jeep that I would really love is the heated seats, right? And it was like such a foreign concept. I was like, did we just adopt? Do we like steal an Amish girl? Like, um, she hasn't been able to buy herself a multivitamin, even though she knows she needs one, in months. And she wouldn't. She absolutely refused to let me even contemplate those. She's like, let me just get settled. And she was. You could tell the poor girl was totally overwhelmed by everything. At one point when we went to go get the pillows and the mattress and stuff like that, I left her with just Bean. And my friend Kat and her son were there. And Bean helped her like start putting things away, sorting things. This has been such an eye opener. Look, I can sit here and I can bitch about, oh, I haven't painted the wall. I have the paint. My dishes aren't done, right? And there have been times where things have been super lean. But I have never thought to myself, is getting a bunch of 3 bananas too much to ask for? I got her a water bottle because she hadn't had one. She goes, "I can just use my cup. I can just use the cup I have." And I go, "But you're going to be going back to work and you're going to be, on the go and stuff like that. Would you like a water bottle?" Right? One of those like refillables. I go, "Look, I'm not saying a Stanley, but do you want to go look at the water bottles?" And she just looked at me. She's like, "Really? I can do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So we go over there and I go, "Okay, do you want one of these or do you want me to order you one off of Amazon with like one of the characters she loves? Like she loves Stitch from Lilo and Stitch and she loves Jack Skellington." I said, "Do you want me to order you one of those?" And she goes, "Oh no, those are going to be way too expensive with the character on it, right?" And so I pull one up on Amazon that looks like, that's an adult size. And I go, "How about this one?" I go, "Is this one good?" And she goes, "That's too much money." And I go, "I didn't ask you how much money it was. I asked you, do you like it?" And she just kind of looked at me and I go, "I think you like it." And she goes, "It's really cute." but it's too much money. And I go, click. I go, it'll be here Tuesday. Is that okay? And she goes, what? She goes, what do you mean it's going to be? I go, I just Amazoned it. It'll be at my house on Tuesday. So, I'll bring it to you when I get it, kind of thing, with a bunch of the other stuff I have for you. That's what you guys buying off the Amazon list is helping. When I talked about the list, the list of 300, right? I've talked about this before, the Steve Harvey list of 300. One of the things I wrote on there, not thinking like how it would happen or what would go on, is I said I wanted to help. I wanted to give Christmas to a family. I wanted to be financially secure or to be able to pull it together where I could give Christmas to a family. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that 2 months later we'd be giving Christmas. And not just Christmas with like the frills and stuff, but Christmas of a new start. A place where people can feel safe, where people can start to breathe and relax in, to a family of 3. And the thing is not everybody wrote the little gift things where I know where to send thank you notes to. What I know is I couldn't do it without you guys and my friends that are here that aren't watching my floss tubes. That I couldn't do it with my dear friend Nicole, whose family came by last Saturday and helped me rip out carpet. That I couldn't do it without the Wonder Twins. And honestly, as much as I've complained about him at times, I couldn't have done this without Kevin. And I just want to say thank you. I'm also going to beg a little bit longer that if you can afford to grab something else off the list, or if you haven't already and you want to, this is not just a, hey, we're going to come in and clean your house and be gone, right? Commitment. Because of the issues, my family, and realistically Kevin as well, have committed long term to the success of this. I'm calling them a family, right? They're so funny. They're already falling into a groove with each other. And we're staying alongside them so that the house doesn't slide backwards, right? And it's not in a we're big brother and we're overseeing or we're dictating. It's not that. It's we truly want a safe environment for everybody. Hang on one second. I just knocked something over and I gotta pick it up before the dogs get it. Okay, sorry. Plus I want to stop crying. So yeah. So it's gonna be a I will be honest, I will probably keep the Amazon wish list on my floss tube pretty regularly, probably from now till, well, let's be honest, I have ADHD, and so till I forget to not include it, and then, but, y'all, we're making a difference. We're making a difference. On the flip side, looking ahead to 2026, I've shared with you some of my plans. And some of my plans include getting back into training towards Ironman. And along with that, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start, it's not really a running club. It's not really a run. Originally how I started to lose weight way back when was my sorority did a challenge where we walked or ran or biked or swam or rollerbladed or whatever, right? The miles from our international headquarters, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana, to where convention was that year, which was Tampa, Florida. It was like it's really not as far as you think, right? It's like 300 some miles. Just I think I don't know. It's been years. Whatever those miles were, and you just logged like, hey, I walked an extra mile this today. And back then you could go on Google Maps, and it would if you put in you wanted the walking directions from X point to Y point, it would almost give you a turn by turn sort of plan. So you could literally like move your little dude on the map. And that's what I did. And I would get frustrated when I was in the same spot for too long, right? Because nobody wants to be in like, I don't know, because I'm going to say someplace and one of the 400 people that watch me on a weird, I don't even think 400 people watch me. One of my 400 subscribers is going to be like, hey, wait, no, I live there. It's a great place. So I'm not going to do that. But you could be like in Somewheresville for too long, and you'd be like, no, I need to get my butt in gear, and it would push me to do like extra miles. So what we're going to do is starting January 1st is pick your destination. Where's your dream destination, right? Like if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? You're going to pick that place. You're going to pick where you're starting from, which is your house. You're not going to start from my house because you don't live with me, because you don't want to live here, really and truly, you don't. And we're going to push each other and support each other to get to our destination, right? So I will be honest, I have yet to pick my destination. And when you reach your destination, you can go to the next destination. That's the nice part, right? It's just to get us kind of moving and get some motivation. So we're going to be doing that. Okay. I'm going to do my Jeeps. I will be honest that as of today, with moving in Lauren, I'm at 45 Jeeps colored in out of my 54. So if I have a really good, strong 2 weeks, I will be done with my birthday sale before the end of the month. Am I going to continue it? Absolutely, because I love coloring in the little Jeeps. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I love coloring. It brings me joy. And it's sort of one of those, like, it pushes me to finish something if I've gone too long and haven't gotten a color in a Jeep. So, I'll just print out another sheet of Jeeps. It's not a big deal. I keep flipping back and forth with the only game board I may do is WhipGo. But if I do WhipGo, I'm going to be doing my WhipGo very differently. And so I'm sort of leaning towards doing a WhipGo board, but 2026 is going to be the year of Kelly. Kelly is making herself a priority. Kelly is her project that has sat the longest, her longest whip, the one that needs the most attention. And if you know me well, you know this. And it's not anything new that y'all haven't been telling me. I pour into a lot of people because I love doing that, right? It brings me immense joy. At the same time, I need to pour into myself. And so, if I decide to do a WhipGo board, which I'm kind of leaning towards just for the fun, I'm actually probably going to completely drop out of Whip Warriors because I don't want the pressure of having to collect so many points and stuff to stay active in the group. I really and truly don't. I love the group. I love the group. I have loved participating in the group for years, right? But I think, again, 2026 needs to be the year of me. And stepping back from all of the games, really. I guess Whip Go is still a game, but um, my Whip Go board will be filled up with things like finish a household project, throw away 10 things, go get a massage, get your hair done, buy a new bra. Because I don't know about a lot of you women, um, I tend to put off buying new undergarments far too long, right? Until they're like ready and stuff. So that may be on it. It may be take an overnight trip away by myself, right? Um, it may be start a project that's just for me because I want to do it for me, not because it's a present for somebody else. I currently have at least 4 that I can think of that are gifts that are not like for me, like not gifts for my children, but for friends, right? One of them is huge. I will be starting another portrait canvas. My friend's mom who passed away, he finally sent me the picture. So that you'll see a lot in 2026 as well. Um, so yeah, 2026 is going to be the year, Kelly. So rather than, I know a lot of people in January they started it last year with a blessing sampler, and I did a small one, a tiny small one. This year I'm not going to necessarily do a blessing sampler, but I am going to pull out the fabric and I'm going to start putting in needle and thread for the sampler, my own sampler about me. And I want to encourage people to do that. So starting on January 1st, or it may be part of my 12 by 12. I'm going to start that, and I think I'm going to start with the alphabet up top, kind of thing. And it's just going to be a kind of a. There's going to be a Jeep on it because I love my Jeep. There's going to be legal scales on mine because I'm a lawyer. There'll be something twin related because I'm the mom of twins, right? There'll be my dogs. There'll be, I'm sure some ASL on there as well. So yeah. I think and that may be maybe that's part of my whip go is that I work on that, like add another motif or add an alphabet to my sampler. Um, add a house to my sampler, add a flower, add a animal, add a, you know, something else about you kind of thing. Mixed in with some of the fun self-care things. I think that's how I'm gonna I think that's how I'm gonna do my Whipco board, and I think that's the only thing we're gonna do is Whipco, as far as games. So, um, I say that, and then I was like, Kim and I were gearing up to do the Winter Olympics, and that is this February as well. So, um, we may do some directive stitching during then too, and come up with some prompts, especially for the Paralympics, because there's some really cool Winter Paralympic things as well. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And then on the last note, if my dog got me today, my big girl. She kind of had a freak out. Her and the little dog got into it, and I got in the middle of it to break them up, and I got bit. So we're gonna pray that, or send good vibes that it heals well and nicely and all that thing. So, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go. I have rambled enough. I apologize. So yeah, so please play with us in 2026. We're gonna make it a year. We're gonna do a year-long sampler about ourselves. What a gift to pass down to our family, right? So that they can learn, stitch in your favorite color, stitch your favorite flower on there, stitch your, those kinds of things, right? Um, we're gonna do the mini masterpieces, and we're gonna keep going on our Jeeps, and we're gonna pick a destination to move our bodies to, right? I don't care if you're swimming. I don't care if you're rowing on a row machine, biking on a stationary bike, or out on the road. If you're gonna exercise outside though, please, 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 please be careful. So yeah, that's really, and I think I do like the idea of doing the WIPGO board based on my sampler about myself and some self-care things in there, and I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So, with that said, remember, you are smart, and you are beautiful. You are loved, and you are strong. You are needed, and you are wanted, and mostly, you matter. So with that, feel free to reach out to me at His Princess Kelly on Instagram or TikTok, or on the Book of Faces if you can find me. So with that, love y'all, and we'll see you next week. Have a joyous Merry Christmas and happy last night of Hanukkah. And before I see you again, we'll also start Kwanzaa. So may everybody be at peace. Thank you.